As the country struggles to address the opioid epidemic, tonight's cold case report reminds us just how devastating addiction can be.
Once an innocent and promising student at Shaker High School, Kimberly Merwitz, also known as Kimberly Wade, was murdered in 2002. A tragic end to a tragic life that's never been solved.
But as Jerry Gretzinger discovered, detectives have received some new information that's got them closer than ever to finding her killer.
School children were still on summer vacation, and in August of 2002, things were quiet around Albany's Brookens School until a foul smell lured maintenance workers behind a dumpster in the parking lot, where they found a body.
That body was determined to be Kimberly Wade.
Also known as Kimberly Merwitz, the 41-year-old mother of 3 battled a devastating addiction to drugs and had turned to prostitution to support it. Detective Tim Haggerty says she was well known to law enforcement. Fellow detective John Coleman had just joined the Albany PD as a patrolman and remembers the day Kim's body was found. So you the first officer?
I was the first officer there, yes.
Kim had been strangled and was found partially clothed. Coleman says her body was in such a state of decomposition he didn't know it was her, despite having seen her just days earlier.
And then I see her right here, start walking across this way. And I got out and yelled at her. I said, "Get your ass off the avenue."
Central Avenue was Coleman's beat. He saw Kim every few days, until he didn't.
She right down the street, took a right on North Lake Ave, and that was it. That was the last time I saw her.
Kim had attended Shaker High School, was an honor student, known for her sense of humor, until she turned to drugs.
She had some pretty bad things happen to her in her young life. She was abused by a couple different men at a very young age, and I think that was her way to cope.
Kim's daughter, Devin Longobardi, was 17 when her mom was murdered. She remembers how badly Kim wanted to succeed in her numerous stints in rehab.
She had a lot to give. She had a big heart. She just had a very terrible problem and didn't know how to cope with it.
Just about a week before her body was found, Kim was in a rehab facility when her sister, Michelle Plew, says someone took her out.
She ended up going up to my mom's and taking her checking account, her jewelry, and then she went to the bank to cash some checks.
Michelle says there was surveillance video that showed Kim in the drive-thru of a local bank with 2 other people in the car, a white man and a white woman.
The cops showed us the video of that, but we didn't recognize the people.
They also knew nothing about the man listed as Kim's husband on her death certificate, Chucky McNeil. But even the strongest leads were hard to follow, given that most of Kim's friends police interviewed were heavy drug users.
They were not as mentally lucid as the average person was.
Police say if John had killed Kim, the other women on the street would have known something and been eager to talk, but Coleman believes they were afraid if they did, they'd face a similar fate, and that Kim's killer was no stranger.
Her shirt was pulled up over her head, which is indicative of maybe somebody don't want to see her face.
For 18 years, all they've had are theories they could not prove, but that could be changing. Coleman and Haggerty have been shaking the tree, as they put it, going back to old and new players, digging for new leads, and getting them, enough to say with confidence they're zeroing in. Is it your belief that who killed Kimberly Wade is still living and residing here in the Capital Region in Albany?
I believe so.
Investigators say some of their sources still fear retaliation, but are hopeful that the promise of police protection and the weight on their conscience will keep information flowing.
I feel that there should be justice for her.
That's my mom with the red hair.
A sentiment Kim's family shares, although revisiting what happened is hard.
It brings up terrible memories for my mom, so she's 78.
Bless you.
Devin is 34, married and a school teacher in Florida, who often wonders what could have been had Kim gotten one more chance at rehab, finally been successful, and able to meet her granddaughter.
My daughter makes me think about it a lot more because, you know, that was my mommy and now I'm a mommy, and I would like this person to pay for what they've done so that they can't do it to anybody else ever. Nobody deserves to go through what our family went through.
If you know anything that could help solve the murder of Kimberly Merwitz, contact Albany Police. With Cold Case 13, I'm Jerry Gretzinger.
Tips can also be called in to Capital Region Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-833-ALB-TIPS or sent to coldcase13@WNYT.com.
And don't forget to check out the cold case file that we created online. That has even more information for you, and that's at WNYT.com.